All right, all right. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you're at. My name is Sherman Crancer, and welcome to the Voice of the Microsoft Partner. This is show number 32, I think 32 or 33, maybe 33, which is fantastic. We have over 250 people registered on LinkedIn, and over 100 here on the Teams platform. I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming. You know, the theme today is really going to be Inspire, right? We're going to do a recap of Inspire. We've got some great speakers on that are going to be providing some of their insights, some of their thoughts. Now, I do want to make sure that we all know that we have the chat window that is open. Please, you know, the beauty of being on the team session is really the interaction that we have with everybody in here, right? So, you know, please put in who you are, what you specialize in. You know, this is an opportunity for you to network with other people that are on here. If you have a disagreement with somebody, that's okay. Disagree on the chat window, no problem. Also, you know, we have a set of about 15 questions that we're going to be asking the speakers. However, we also want to take some questions from the audience when appropriate. So please go ahead and, you know, if you have questions that you might want to ask or clarification, go ahead and put that in there. All right, so let's do this. So this is going to be a great show. We're going to get right into it. On this session, you know, we have the welcome, the introduction. We're going to get right in to, we call it Mentimeter Moolah, which is a chance to win a gift card. And it's really, it's basically kind of a quiz. It's a really fun type of quiz where, and I don't want to steal the thunder from Kathleen here, but it's a really cool, fun, interactive quiz where you score points and we're going to give gift cards at the end, right, for people who are the best at this. And it's going to be Inspire themed. So we're going to talk about that. But then we're going to talk to our guest speakers, right? We're going to introduce our guest speakers. And we have a really great set of diverse guest speakers here. We're going to go into the Microsoft Inspire recap. We're going to finish this with another Mentimeter Moolah situation. And just to kind of give everyone a little bit of clarity on this one is the last Mentimeter will be a lot of what we're talking about during the session, okay? So this way you have a chance. If you didn't win the first one, well, you get it, you know, pay attention, you'll get a chance to meet the next one. This is our quest of making sure. You know, moving forward to, I think our next session will be best and worst marketing tips, right, that we're going to get for 2022. I think that's going to be a really fun one to talk about that. And we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to ask you to actually bring your best and worst. We may end up talking to a whole bunch of people for that. And we can do some pre-registration here. Here's a little poll that we just put up here. If you'd like us to pre-register for the next event, we'll go ahead and do that, right? No problem, right? Or you can do it yourself, totally cool with that, but we can get you going. All right, and then we'll have a little bit of Q&A. So we always reserve, you know, we get to 12 o'clock, we're going to land the plane right there. But what we want to do is give another chance, another 10 or 15 minutes. If you want to stick around, do some marketing, right, for yourself, or, you know, talking to other people, no problem. You know, go ahead and just stick around. We'll stick around for another 15 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes, depending, and answer questions specifically. If you want to talk to some of the speakers about what they do, awesome. So with that, all right, so let's go and do this. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Kathleen Barton. She's part of our group, and she's going to take this from us right now. So it's interactive. So listen to her instructions, and we'll get started. Kathleen?
Awesome. Thanks, Sherman. So if you were here last month, right, you've already been through this drill. Just want to make sure you all can get into the Mentimeter. So there's two options here. You can do it through Teams. So if you look at the bar up at the top there, you will see a Mentimeter button. You can launch Mentimeter that way, or the other option is you can scan that QR code and have it on your phone, or like Dylan mentioned in the chat, that link there on the screen that you see is clickable. So you can click that, jump right in, it'll pop it up on a new screen for you. It'll ask for your name, so feel free to have fun with the name. However, make sure that you let us know who you are so we can get you your gift card. Like Sherman mentioned, we are giving away some money here, so you definitely want to tune in and make sure that you're identifiable, and then join the quiz. So I see a couple of you are already in there. This first question here is actually not a quiz question, right? We just want to get an idea of who you are. But when we do jump into the quiz, you'll get a little bit of time to read the question before the timer starts, and it is more points for answering faster. So make sure you read the question really quick. As soon as that timer stops, that's basically your time to get more points, right? And there may be a trick question or two. And then the last thing here, if you navigate away from that Mentimeter pane, if you're launching through Teams, at any point, if you go to the chat or whatever, if you come back, you won't lose your spot. You'll basically land right where you were when you left. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I see that there are about 23 people in here. And like I said, just trying to get an idea of where our audience is calling in from. Interested to hear if you want to share in the chat, whoever is outside of the United States, where you're calling in from. Obviously, the bigger the map, the harder it is to like identify where you are. And if you're on your phone, I apologize. It's probably impossible to actually click specifically where you're at, but looks like we have a pretty widespread group here, right? Representation pretty spread across, and it looks like we have 25 folks. How many people do we have here? And it looks like we have 58 attending. So a couple more of you, if you're having a hard time, hit that Mentimeter button there, and you should be able to join the quiz. Looking for a few more folks because we do have quite a few more people here in the meeting to go ahead and join. So again, if you're having any issues, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll help you out. But easiest way is just click that Mentimeter button there at the top of your Teams page.
Yeah, for the folks who just joined, you can go to www.menti.com and then put in that code that we're showing you, or just click the Mentimeter on the top, and then we'll get started here. We want to make sure everyone has a chance to win some of the money that we're going to be doing. All right, 31. Why don't we wait for two more, and then we'll get started. How's that?
Sounds good. Right, looks like we have someone calling in from Dubai. Welcome, Rashid. And then we have another one out of the United States. Pretty good representation here. All right, great. Let's go ahead and get started. So we are going into question number 1. So again, answer faster to get more points here. Who is the opening keynote speaker at Microsoft Inspire? This one should be a softball for you. Hopefully everyone gets this right. You have 10 seconds to answer. Let's see what you came up with. Oh, all right. Most of you got it right. The correct answer was Chairman and CEO Satya was the opening keynote speaker. All right, going into the leaderboard here, we can see who is likely going to win that money, right? Kind of the fun part of seeing who's on the leaderboard. Stingalicious, congratulations. Let's see if you can keep your lead. All right, question number 2. Again, answer faster to get more points. So specifically in his keynote, what do we need to shift from, or what do we need to shift to, right? So he talked about digital transformation. What should that be? All right, most of you got that right. So basically shifting from talking about digital transformation to delivering on the digital imperative, right, for every organization. So that's definitely a theme that we'll discuss today. So if you did miss Inspire or didn't really key in on that, you'll hear a little bit of a recap today. All right, it looks like Tom took the lead. Question number 3, let's get started on that. And then we're gonna have one more question after this one. So this one's kind of a trick question. Which of the following was not a core theme? So a couple of these are a core theme that they covered. Which one is not a core theme? Scale your solutions with industry. Kind of surprised that so many people answered that. We are actually going to be talking about scaling solutions in industry today. So tune in to that topic. All right, let's see who is on the leaderboard now. Tom, I think you are getting beat here, unfortunately. All right,
oh, Simba. Sebastian.
All right, guys. All right. This is the last question for this one. Again, a chance to win a $50 gift card So another keynote on digital perseverance, Judson Althoff discussed what topics? Thumbs up. Nice. Most of you answered that one correctly. Let's see who took the lead and who is the proud owner of a $50 Amazon gift card.
Let's see, who is it? Who is it? Is it Simba?
Nice. Congratulations, Simba. Congratulations. Please drop your details in the chat and I'll grab that really quick and we will be in touch with your digital gift card.
All right.
Thanks for playing.
Yep. Awesome, Kathleen, great job. Hey, just for everybody, Kathleen's going to go ahead and put in the Mentimeter information for those who missed this one. We have another one coming at the end of the session, okay? So no problem. But congratulations, Simba. Thanks everybody for playing. We just want to kind of get it started with a little bit of, kind of get the mind going, a little bit of interaction on that kind of thing. So this is awesome. Great job, Kathleen. Really do appreciate it. And thanks everybody for playing that. All right, let's go ahead and get into introductions here. We'll go ahead, and we've got 4 great speakers here. I'm going to go ahead and start from the left to the right so our speakers know who they are. Please turn on your camera. Jeffrey D. Maria. Jeff, do you want to go ahead and, or Jeffrey, do you want to introduce yourself and what your responsibilities are?
Hey everyone, thank you for having us here today. My name is Jeffrey D. Maria. I'm with Stratus Cloud Alliance. I do partner enablement here and really just trying to help our partners capture the entire Microsoft CSP opportunity, leading with Dynamics 365. So really excited to be here and thank you for having me as a guest.
Fantastic. All right, Scott.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you're on mute. Let's see, sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. I'll start over. Common occurrence. Scott May, Director of Channel Development with Stratus Cloud Alliance. I work with partners to help them get involved with our organization, take advantage of all of the value-added products and services that we offer. So been working with Sherman and the Crancer group. We've got some programs that we're working together for customer immersion experience and marketing with our partners. So certainly any questions on that, I'd be happy to connect with anybody.
Fantastic. All right, thank you, Paul.
Hi everyone, Paul Solsky. I head up AIMI International. The reason for our existence is to enable partners with IP or ISV specifically to scale, and we do that in 2 major ways. One is to develop the strategies, go-to-market plans to expand into international markets, and 2, because most ISVs choose to do their expansion through partners, to build partner programs and do partner development to establish partner channels.
All right, thank you, Paul. All right, and then last but not least, Rich.
Hi, gang. Thanks very much for letting me be here. I will I'll take it from where Paul left off. I also work with the partner channels. I work with the Stratus ISV Development Center, and we work with partners, and we're kind of the liaison with Microsoft and helping you get that Microsoft money. So let me know how we can help.
Fantastic. So I have a little bit of an announcement to make as well. I've now moved over to chairman of the Crancer Group and actually taken a new role with a company called Surveil, who you probably heard me talk about. I'm now the president of North America for Surveil Inc. and building out a channel there. We are still conducting business as usual in the Crancer Group. My brother is actually elevated to now president of the group. So that's our announcement that we're sending out there. Really proud of all the work that's been done on the Crancer Group and look forward to new channels that are coming out with Surveil. So thank you so much, everybody here. This is awesome. Let's go ahead and get into, actually, let me just go back to Paul. Paul, real quick, could you tell me a little bit more about this international expansion program that you run for Microsoft?
Yeah, so Microsoft has what's called internally the Geo Expansion Program, and Microsoft promotes it through the GTM team as being a vehicle for partners with IP to reach international markets. And we're an agency for Microsoft, so we offer 2 services for partner enablement. The first is to develop the right strategies and to prioritize countries and recognize where the opportunity is the largest and establish a business case. and find the optimal way to enter those new geographies for ISVs. The second one is, as I mentioned, that 9 times out of 10 ISVs tend to go to market through partners. There is both an art and a science in engaging with partners effectively. And so what we build is partner programs that define the market opportunity and the business case for partners to invest in marketing, selling and marketing and supporting ISV solutions. And we call that essentially as a customized partner program. But we also do partner search and partner recruitment and partner management, so that essentially an ISV in the US could go to Europe and have a virtual subsidiary before they're ready to invest in their own people.
Wonderful.
Both of those services are available under the ISV Connect program.
And that's where Paul runs. So if you would like to talk more to Paul about that, we'll put a little poll up here, and you can just say yes, and he'll be happy to talk to you. It's a really interesting program through Microsoft, really pretty cool. So go ahead and just say yes or no. We're good. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the content. Actually, I want to make sure that we have this. We talk about things. So what were the Paul, I'm going to ask you first what you thought were the main themes that Microsoft put forward with Inspire.
Yeah, so a transition from digital transformation to digital imperative as a messaging and also as a direction to the partners. And now, instead of just talking about moving to the cloud as an infrastructure, it's more focused around enabling different types of work teams, fusion of work teams, ability to bring AI and data together in holistic models, and to have better collaboration and integration between business applications and focus on security. So those are the 5 areas that were really brought up as the digital imperative, and all under the umbrella of doing more with less, not just having fewer people, but actually having technology do the work. And so in times where supply chains and inflation is happening and multiple impacts on businesses, that technology can help to deal by enabling customers to do more with less. So that was a very big theme across the entire conference, and the other sessions fit underneath that. And to me, it just emphasized specific partner opportunities to sell more solutions. The other theme was there is a vast amount of opportunity and growth, and there are some phenomenal numbers were being shared based on statistics and analyst research. Like one that stood out to me was 95% of all workloads will be deployed in the cloud by 2025, I believe it was. So enormous growth, and I think that that underscored Microsoft's continued investment in solutions and continued emphasis on having partners scale up in those areas where the digital imperative touches, and industry or vertical solutions were also very much a theme of specialization and being able to tailor solutions in those areas. The other interesting areas were the apps marketplace, tremendous emphasis on getting more apps from ISVs, but also from partners. Solutions are up there, and again, some phenomenal numbers being shared about how much will be transacted through marketplaces. So those were the key ones that I picked up.
Well, that's great. And, it really kind of coincides with that partner solutions designation, that rapid growth piece. I was just thinking that right before you even said that. We are seeing such a just tremendous rapid growth in the adoption of the cloud. It's no longer an if, it's more of it's happening. And you gotta grasp it, and you gotta learn the latest and greatest technologies to keep yourself, at the level. I know it's kind of tough. I know it's no big feat here. Scott, let me ask you this. Let's go to the Satya keynote. You want to just talk a little bit about that first, and then maybe I'll ask you about the opportunity in the house slide. But you mind just touching on Satya first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, again, as Paul was saying, a lot of what, he talked about, Satya, covered in his keynote, right? It's called Inspire, and Satya's keynotes are always inspiring. If you didn't get a chance to go through and watch it, I'd suggest go through and watch it. You always come away with a very positive, vibe on, what he's passionate about and what he's wanting to go through and drive Microsoft towards. So it's just inspiring. I mean, a lot of what he talked about that, Paul mentioned, right? And what Microsoft is doing to be the best partner for growth, right? The idea that Microsoft is, been a partner-based organization, is always going to be a partner-focused organization. He talked a lot about, what makes Microsoft, different in regards to, how they think and where they're going with all of their solutions. And, the point was do more with less, but really it was, how do you go through and do that and increase the time to value for the client, right? The time to value with the solutions, not just moving people into the cloud, right? That digital imperative is about, getting the value from the cloud, for the client, quicker. And how does Microsoft, it's really time to value is quicker as well as lower cost, right? So, how does Microsoft go through and be the best platform, for clients to be able to go through and do that? And he had a lot of good points that he, pointed out about, how their platform, their Microsoft Cloud platform, is the best platform for clients to be able to go through and accomplish that. If you look at basically, Windows Server with SQL on Azure and different solutions that, Microsoft has, I think one was, at an 80% less cost than compiling other components of different competitors. And he went through this in a number of different instances to reinforce the point that the Microsoft Cloud platform for clients is the best fully integrated cloud platform that's out there. Security, the back office productivity, basically, everything that was in that kind of house that you were showing, right? That compared to other, platforms, Microsoft is the most complete, the most integrated, that partners can achieve that time to value quicker, at a less cost, and basically a significant reduction over compiling, what you would consider multiple products, from different vendors, right? You can get it all from Microsoft. So, I thought that was one of the key points that he had mentioned. Certainly, he talked about the value of, from a partner perspective and the growth that partners really need to go through and be thinking about selling to, that entire, house that you're showing, right? Across basically all of the, organizations or all of the units within an organization, Microsoft can go through and service those. And the idea that partners may not be able to go through and do that all themselves, but they need to go through and be talking to their clients about that and building partnerships and ecosystems, that can bring in resources, to help their clients across the entire kind of Microsoft Cloud stack. They did a survey, which I think he mentioned, which, they said, hey, why would partners want to work with Microsoft? And the survey came back from the partners that, 25% of them, or the survey came back that most of them were getting 25% year-over-year growth, which is significant, continued growth. 39%, the average margin of those partners was 39%. So, they were driving high margins. And basically in that survey, the managed services growth was 102%. So, again, it just points out the tremendous opportunity with everything Microsoft's investing in for partners to be able to take advantage of. And, I think last year, for every dollar that Microsoft licensing that a partner sold, I think there was something like $9 in services. That's now gone up to $10. And the projection is that, that amount in professional services for each dollar of licensing, is just going to continue to go up. And obviously, there's a lot more margin and revenue to be made on the professional services side for partners. So, that was certainly, encouraging. I think he put up a slide where the IDC, right now, the cloud services market is $550 billion for 2022. And that by 2026, that's expected to grow to $1 trillion. So, for partners, there's plenty of opportunity. It's a matter of, how do you plan for that? How do you strategize for that? Who do you work with? Who can help you take advantage of it and grow that? That kind of is my synopsis of Satya's, keynote in everything that they're doing to make Microsoft better for clients and better for partners to be a partner. I think they said that there was 440,000 partners worldwide now, and somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think it's 400 plus new partners coming on board, each month at least.
Well, and with that, and thanks for that update on what you thought of that. But, I think there's two things right now that are, we have two like pivotal points in our industry that have come up that you may not be thinking about because you're kind of heads down doing your business. One, we've heard this digital transformation so much until we can almost puke, right? We've heard that so much, right? Like we don't want to talk about it. But this is the time to work on your business. Okay, this is the time to take your head, take it up, and reconfigure your business, because the old way of doing the MSP type of business, it's quickly going to become over. It's new cloud MSP. It's a different way, different thinking. It coincides with the whole solutions partner program, right? Becoming, getting more skilled up, right? This is a critical time. And even if you're in it, or if you're just coming into it, it's also a very interesting time where you could come into the business and expand and learn what's going on now and get right in and compete. So I think that's number one. And then the second thing that I would say is that it's time to have a professional sales organization. If you don't have one now, it's time to put your head up and think about, how am I going to build a professional sales organization that's going to be able to go into those 5 or 6 different business units, right? Account mapping is a big thing for us. We talk about that all the time when we're counseling partners. Account mapping, super important, but you need to have the sales acumen to do it and sellers that can actually do it. We need to change the way we think about building our business based on referrals. We need to actually create professional sales organizations that understand what it takes to actually do it. Just my input on that one. Let me go over to Rich. What new initiatives did you take interest in, from the beginning of Inspire?
So from Inspire, and I'll be too transparent, I didn't pay attention to everything in Inspire. I had a couple of things that were very critical to me, and Paul hit a couple of them. The verticalization of the Microsoft, the verticalization of the partner, the verticalization of the apps that are out there, and how you can use that verticalization to maximize your impact and your value to your customers as a partner. That's one of the things that we focus on the ISV Dev Center with Stratos, and it was fantastic to hear them really put the focus on that. And to see how Microsoft is getting out into the world and pushing in that verticalization of not only ideas but things. And I don't know if you saw any of the news over the last couple of days, but Microsoft is pushing heavily into the Internet of Things, and Google is now getting out. They've cried uncle, and Google said no thanks. We're going to get out of the Internet of Things. Microsoft now owns it. So we thought that was kind of a big deal. I believe that was on I would reference my source, but it's out there. You can do a quick Bing search on it and you'll find it. But yeah, verticalization to me was huge.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for that. Now, Jeffrey, I think one of the there's a platform that you brought up that you may want to talk about that you thought was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you couldn't have missed it from the keynote. The Microsoft Digital Contact Center. It's kind of amazing what they do with that solution. And I wish my camera would come back on. Oh, here I am. And what I thought was just really neat about this, and it's kind of bringing all different types of different solutions together. And, you know, previously they talked about Nuance. Nuance has a solution called, it was Dragon Naturally Speaking. And what they were really big into was just the AI capability of natural language. And right now, they're bringing that AI engine into Microsoft and their digital contact center platform. So there's all types of signals, there's all types of devices, you know, even Rich mentioning Internet of Things, IoT, it's there on the far left of this slide. There's so many ways that clients are connecting, partners are connecting, and just being able to pull these solutions together is quite phenomenal. And thinking about what Scott was mentioning, just with the platform and all the different bits and pieces coming together, I mean, it was funny. Even before this show today, someone shared a meme with me that I thought was just pretty interesting. Their son just started going to college. They're in space, not in space, but they're in their classroom, and all of a sudden, there's a meme about the cloud and what it is, and it's really just someone else's computer, right? So you look at this solution right here in front of you, and that's a lot of different applications. How can one organization do this, right? You know, you do have to lean in on different pieces and different parts, and with the packaging of different opportunities that Microsoft's bringing to market, I look at this as just a fantastic solution set, bringing the best of breed of technologies together. Now, I was inspired. I've actually had a little Power Platform addiction going on right now lately, where I'm actually building out a couple different pieces, a couple different tools. I'm automating a lot of different tasks on this platform, and I'm not a developer. You know, I think every single person on this call can dig in. The training, the free resources that you can do, you can just start thinking about different business problems that you can solve and bring to market. And I promise you're going to be able to drive some serious success here. With the Digital Contact Center, we're big in dynamics, right? That's our flagship. And, you know, being able to run this application within Dynamic CRM, bringing in all these different avenues, all these different pieces together just really changes the way that you can do business. And it is inspiring because these solutions are great. And if you haven't tried to start exploring the breadth of these solutions, I do encourage everyone to try and ask questions and see if we can get engaged.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that there. On the next thing, you know, I think we want to kind of get into opportunities that were identified for partners. You know, Paul, could you give me maybe one or two, and then I'll go around to the rest of the crew to see what their thoughts are.
Sure. So I think there are quite a few opportunities, and they came out in Satya's keynote, and I thought it was really good that everyone there pointed out where to go, where to specialize. So the two that I'll highlight is one is industry solutions, and Microsoft keeps emphasizing that both applications and skills need to be verticalized by partners and ISVs, and with a huge theme across the event about attracting ISVs, getting more ISVs onto the platform, getting ISVs through the marketplaces to really transact. So if you're considering packaging IP from the services that you've delivered in the past, then this may be a good time. And the ISV Success program and the ISV Connect program helps that. The other one was around the security features. So security has been a big thing for a long time, but the offering has expanded really substantially for Microsoft, and it's kind of reinforces the theme that this conference wasn't about radical change. It was about doubling down on what works and where the opportunities are and getting better on it. And security around sovereignty and others was another area that Microsoft emphasized.
Those are two great ones, and I'll just chime in on the industry solutions. We've been talking to that with our partners for the last 2 years. It's like create vertical offers that solve problems, for industries. Now, you don't have to completely put all your eggs in one basket. And I know some folks have been like, well, I'm not doing an industry because that hurt me, 6 years ago, the last recession. But it's really important. I think it aligns with Microsoft. And then, another thing that we talked about is putting 3 different offers in the marketplace that could be really similar, but just based on how you're helping that industry solve that problem, right? So it's the same thing. So you don't have to totally do that. Scott, what would you say are maybe another, 1 or 2 opportunities that you thought were identified for Microsoft partners?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Jeff DiMaria mentioned, we're an indirect provider. We support the entire Microsoft cloud, but we specialize in Dynamics 365. So I'm going to point that out because, the growth on that was, 35+% year over year, right? It's no longer just a little drop in the bucket for Microsoft. It's a major focus. And I think we continue to go through and see that, right? Satya brings it up all the time. There's major investments from Microsoft continuing to go through and develop it. It's 30+ applications now, spanning across the ERP, CRM, Power Platform, the number of, clients that are going through and using it. I forget the number that they had mentioned. It was like, 500K plus organizations now use just Power Platform. So, there's an explosive growth within that all Microsoft partners, regardless of whether or not they're doing business applications now, have an opportunity to capitalize on. And, there's more integration done across the entire Microsoft cloud platform with it. So it's not just standing out there on its own. It's now integrated into Teams and Azure, and Power Platform continues to go through and become stronger and stronger within that space. So the growth basically that I think it offers, and again, I don't have the numbers at the tip of my tongue, but by going through and implementing Dynamics 365 solutions into your clients, it significantly impacts and increases the growth within the other Microsoft cloud stack. So, you get more users basically on M365, you get more consumption of Azure, and it's significant. So, that is a huge opportunities for partners who either aren't involved in it now to get involved, or even partners that are doing it to make, like you had said, Richard, more of an investment from a skilling perspective, professional sales. Microsoft's going to continue to make significant investments into it. The ISV component, which Rich and those guys can talk to, there's more ISVs out there that connect to it, that just make it more and more a robust solution. So that would be my, kind of focus for opportunity and growth with partners.
All right, Rich, how about yourself? What identifies the opportunities you think that were identified?
I have a favorite song in this whole album, and it's all about verticals. This whole thing has been about verticals. Scott mentioned it a couple of times. It was great to hear. We have multiple partners who have gotten into the vertical space and have really decided to own it in a couple of different ways. The way that we think about the most often is, I want to put my app out on AppSource. I want to get to 3 different views of it so I get as many people as possible coming to it, and I want to sell it through the partner channel. We would absolutely call Paul and engage his team and build a partner channel with the ISV or with the partner. Got to help when I can. Absolutely. That's what he does. Our side of that is to help on the development side, help them get the app. That's what most people think of when they think of an ISV that's going to go out and sell through partner. That's great. But we have two, and I'm just about to release 2 case studies on them. I will absolutely make it available to everybody on this call. I don't have the graphics done yet, and one of them still has to get Microsoft blessing, but we'll get that done too. We have 2 case studies done by partners. Both decided to take the other side of that, which is they want to get the app out on AppSource. They want to get the development done. They want to get the Microsoft assistance. They want to drive those BC licenses, but they don't want to sell it through a channel. They want to sell it on their own, and that is their own special sauce. That's how they differentiate themselves in the market. And now when somebody needs that particular piece of IP, they have one option, and they own the market. And I think that's a beautiful thing for a partner to say, I either want to be everything to everybody or I want to be me. Both can work. It just depends on what you decide.
That's awesome. So I have 2 questions here. I'm going to have Paul answer the first one, and then I'm going to ask you guys which one of those is the most important one that you see fit. So Paul, it'd be, what new products did Microsoft, what were the 4 new products that Microsoft announced? And then I'll ask the speakers here, which one of those did they identify as the one that stood out the most? Paul?
Oh, sure. So the Dynamics Contact Center, brand new omni-channel contact with customers, and great opportunity for everyone. Then Viva and its various iterations with goals and engage. Then additional Dynamics 365 modules. And finally, the various security offerings like sovereignty and others that Microsoft announced.
Awesome.
And Teams. Lots of
Teams.
additional Teams. And.
So Jeffrey, which one do you think is the most that stood out the most?
I mean, for me, I've got like 2 here, and I just think it's fun. So obviously, I already talked about the digital contact center. I think that's really solid, and I'm looking forward to helping partners bring that to market, working with our direct team on there, the additional modules. I think Viva is really neat. I don't know how many of you actually implemented it within your own organization, but it's kind of cool. You get to see what kind of quiet days you have. It helps you update some of your priority and focus, and just seeing the proliferation of that throughout the different apps and the insights that you can get through it. It's really neat what's happening with the AI, and it's fun. I mean, I keep on hearing Teams. I keep on hearing security. It's amazing what is out there, and I don't want to take too much of your time here, but there's some basic authentication things that are happening. They're getting rid of the authentication method coming up here in October. That's going to be able to give partners an opportunity to provide security options for their clients. If you haven't worked with them, I think your new company you're working with helps work with that, Sherman.
It definitely does.
Definitely does. Teams integration. Yeah, go ahead. Go.
No, that's awesome. No, I appreciate it. We did have somebody actually, Aaron Wyckoff. Aaron, I've known Aaron for many years, a leader in the industry, by the way. So I talked to him. Thanks for that. The hybrid, because that hybrid work is actually going to go back to the opportunities that were identified for partners. Hybrid workplace was one of the big ones. Absolutely, hybrid workplace, AI and data. And Azure multi-cloud opportunities, Oracle. I think that was the other one that was really important. So if you take away from this, what are the things to focus on, right? Industry solutions, security, hybrid workplace, AI and data, Azure multi-cloud capabilities, right? Integration, the Dynamics piece, holy Moses, the biz app stuff. Now, the other thing too is the way I look at it is like Power Platform. A lot of MSPs want to be a Dynamics partner, but the barrier to entry is pretty deep, right? Well, hey, why don't you invest some people into Power Platform first? Because that's an easier way to get into it. And the billing and project work is similar to how Dynamics goes. And then you partner with other Dynamics partners to do all the other stuff that maybe you don't have the $1 million it's going to take to break into that business, right? But I think you can. And I think that's an opportunity to look for. So Aaron, thanks for posting that up. Really do appreciate it. On that note, maybe I can ask you, there was this ISV success program. Let's talk a little bit about that. Paul, can I ask you a little bit to talk a little bit about this ISV success program?
Yeah, sure. I think that there are probably two ISV programs worth mentioning. ISV Success it's new, and it's focused around enabling companies with IPEI, new ISVs, to come onto the platform with over $120,000 value of tools and assistance to get onto the cloud platform, and then market on the Azure on the marketplace, and make offers there. And so Microsoft provides tools, provides guidance for across there. The ISV Connect program, on the other hand, is more around enabling ISVs with business development assistance, and both are valuable to ISVs.
Awesome.
Can
Awesome.
I jump in there as well?
Rich, please. Yes, I was going to go right over to you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to jump on you, but it dovetails. I might as well. Do I work for Paul today? I think I should probably ask that question, and that's okay.
No, Rich.
Rich, we want to.
Scott says no, and he's closer. He can hit me quicker. So part of those programs, we're one of those tools that Paul mentioned, the ISV Development Center. So we're one of those tools. We offer the coaching, the development, all the decisions, and to help you through the decisions. Paul touched on some of them, but there's a lot of decisions to be made when you decide you want to be an ISV product in the app source. Everything from what is it, how is it, who sells it, how do I make money on it, how does the partner make money on it, how does the customer get it? Those are all things you have to go through. So we have coaching for all of that. We have coaching for the marketing. We have coaching for the actual app development. So we can take from the large range. We have partners that come in and say, I have an idea. I want this idea to be up on the app source, and I want to be a millionaire. In a few cases, I think that's going to work. There are a couple we're working with right now that Scott's heard me use the term visionary and disruptor. We have a couple right now that are going to be disruptors. They are going to change the world. I absolutely believe that. And that's fantastic. And I can't talk about some of them because of NDAs because of that, but I can tell you that it's going to be amazing. We also have the complete other side, which are people that come in and say, I've got an app. It's done. All I need is help getting it in AppSource and getting it out to the partner channel so somebody can sell it for me. That's where we're going to take them to Paul and say, hey, Paul, build them a channel. Help them figure out how to do this. Make them a player. And as an ISV development center, we help them with both of that. The tools that I'm going to mention on top of what Paul mentioned, he mentioned two terms. I'm going to use last year's terms for them. There was one called IP Activate, and there was one called IP Accelerate. So for the IP Activate program, that was free Microsoft money to partners that had an application that they wanted to put in AppSource, and Microsoft would throw money at you to get that up into AppSource, provided that it met some certain criteria and that it drove Business Central licensing. For the Accelerate program, that was for partners who have current applications who are either on an old Dynamics platform or a different platform that could be ported over to Business Central for the same criteria: drive revenue, drive Business Central users. Both of those programs are being revamped. They're supposed to be announced the 1st of September. I say supposed to because when they say we're going to announce it in September, that sometimes means September 15th. However, those are supposed to be announced then, and they, as Paul mentioned, they are talking big dollars. They're talking about giving partners a lot of money if you're driving a lot of Business Central licenses to Microsoft. So if you need information about those programs, we'll be glad to help out with that. I absolutely love helping partners spend Microsoft money. It's just fun to me.
And
Awesome.
maybe if I could add, there was one more, and Rich, maybe you have greater insights about this one, but Microsoft announced $20,000 in assistance in onboarding a partner to resell an ISV software listed on the marketplace. So that was brand new. I don't know, Rich, if you have any more details, but that's on the Inspire recordings.
It's on the Inspire recordings, but you notice they gave very little detail, and they did that on purpose because they haven't, at least the folks that I'm talking to, the slide decks that I have seen say draft all across them, and they don't want us sending them out. So I kind of have an idea. I can tell you the idea that they're working with. I think that $20,000 is probably close, and that's on the new IP. On the Accelerate program to bring customers from legacy systems to Business Central, they're talking six figures. So it's money available.
So there's a QR code that actually works. Go ahead and use your phone or whatever to grab that or snip that and figure how to get back into that QR code. I think it's a Microsoft form. As we clicked on it before, Paul, right? We kind of looked at it. It's a Microsoft form. It goes to somebody at Microsoft. Nominate yourself, but that's something good. Now, for you MSPs out there, this is important. This is really, really important. If you ever want to, it's not just, you have to kind of think a little bit differently. It's not just the app that you're developing, right? It's also a service that you can put on AppSource or the marketplace, a service, right? And if you ever want to learn or ever want to work with Microsoft sellers and get to that next level, that's part of the business. You have to, keys to the castle is getting offers in the marketplace, okay, and getting them co-sell ready. We talk to our partners all about this. That's really the next level in the next step. Now, I do have a small announcement. It may not be small. It might be really, really big. A bird just told me, I got actually this last night, and this is going to affect everybody on this call. A bird just told me that in October, the month-to-month premium on the NTE licenses is going to go away. Okay? Let me repeat that to you. A bird just told me, a bird, I can't say who, we're connected here, told me that in October it's going to go away. It's going to be the same licensing as paid annually based paying month to month, but based on annual subscription. So yeah, that's a big one. And I don't know if there's any reactions here or if people were asleep, but I just told you something here.
All the gnashing of teeth on the previous Voice of the Microsoft partner sessions has apparently paid off, Sherman.
All right.
I think Peter said it. Peter says it best in the chat. I think that speaks for all of us.
All right, all right. Yeah, I get these nuggets from time to time. I want to pass it to my peeps that are here on the call, that are coming to our stuff. This is where you get the latest and greatest news. It's good to be connected, right, with the different people. So awesome. So we're coming up on time here, but I think why don't we do this? What call to action did you take away from the conference, Paul?
Call to action. So overall, I found that the conference, it wasn't a radical change. It wasn't an inflection point. It was about investing in the areas that are succeeding and going deeper and specialization. So the call to action is get better at what you do well. Keep in mind that the new business models around digital imperative and drive those more with customers. But I saw specialization as a big call to action.
Awesome. Scott, I know you got to jump out of here. You want to just quickly last thoughts, and then we're gonna get to Mentimeter.
Yeah, my call to mention to partners and everybody is basically develop your partner ecosystem, right? No one partner can go through and cover everything that Microsoft's doing across their whole platform. Really, in order to be successful, ecosystems basically and partnerships are going to be critical. And you need to go through and be talking with your clients about the entire Microsoft cloud stack, but you need to be able to go through and have partnership relationships with partners that you can trust and bring in that'll support you on that and help you continue to drive your revenue and build your clients.
Awesome. Hey, let's do this. We'll come back to Jeff and Rich for their last thoughts. Let's do the Mentimeter. We want to get in here and give people a chance to take what we talked about today and get in there. So everyone jump back into the Mentimeter right now, which is the quiz, not quiz. Quiz is a bad term, right? We all hated quiz.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Thank you, Scott. The challenge. We're going to go to the challenge. That's what we need to do. It's called the challenge. That's what we're going to change it to challenge. Yeah. So jump on in there. Remember, you can go to www.menti.com. You can click on the link that's right in here right now because we're doing this through PowerPoint presentation. Boom. And then why don't we go ahead? I'm going to give it over to Kathleen.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So yeah, up on the screen, you're going to see those instructions again if you missed the first one, or just a quick reminder for you. You can launch it through Teams, or you can click that link there, or you can scan the QR code. You get more points for answering quicker. It looks like we have a few people in there already. And we'll wait a moment to get a few more. It looks like only 13 of you are in there. So if you haven't hit that Mentimeter button, grab that code that you had there. And go on into the quiz for a chance to win some money. So definitely want to give 2 winners some money at the end of this. So join along, it could be fun. And really this round, we're focusing on, what we talked about today, right? So we had a lot of different themes that we dove into. So really testing how well you were listening today, which hopefully everybody gets the answers right. It's just a matter of timing for this one, right? All right, so we got 16 in there. We'll go ahead and get started when we get 2 more. So grab that Mentimeter button.
2 more peeps.
Come on.
17, we got 1 more. 8, 16. Oh, now we lost one.
People are changing
All
their
right.
mind. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so let's start the quiz. If you're just joining, hit that button. You still have time. All right, so we talked about a lot of opportunities, which are a couple of the ones that we discussed today. So opportunities for partners. See how we did here. 2, 1. Awesome. Most of you got that one correct. So we talked a lot about industry solutions, security solutions, and hybrid workplace. Let's see who had the quickest fingers on this one.
All right. Ola, oh, again, Sydney, Dave, Rashid, Bodie, McBoatface. I like that. Harsha, yellow propaganda.
Great names, guys. Love it. All right, second question here out of 4. Let's go ahead and get started. What new products or features were not announced by Microsoft? So we talked about a few here. Dynamics Contact Center, Viva Iterations, Clippy, the Microsoft Paperclip, and additional security offering. Awesome. So most everybody got that right. If you're unaware of who Clippy is, Google it. His given name is Clippit, I believe. If you were born before 2002, I think you would have missed him. All right. Let's see if anybody took the lead. Oh, sorry. Hola hop. Sydney Dave took the lead. Congrats, Sydney. Let's see if you can keep it. All right.
Simba's up there still too.
Which interesting new initiatives did we discuss? So again, we talked about a lot of stuff here. This may be a trick question. There might be more than one right answer here. You'll only be able to select one. But what are those things that we discussed at length? Awesome. Good job, guys. For those who answered in it to win it incentives, that's actually an IBM thing that's outdated, not Microsoft. But it's a really fun name. It's really good for marketing, right? All right, let's see who took the lead. All right, Sydney Dave staying at the top. Congrats. Let's see if we can maintain that for the last question here. What were the main calls to action that we took away? So a couple of our speakers today talked about what they really took as, their takeaway, their call to action, what they need to do. So what were those things that we discussed? All right, a unanimous correct answer. Good
wow, job, that's awesome. That's
all right.
Awesome. Let's
and see. Drum roll for who won it all. Ooh, Sydney Dave, congratulations. Simba, you almost had round 2 winner there. Congratulations, Sydney. Make sure you let us know your details in the chat so that we can get you your gift card. And thanks so much for playing. Hopefully you enjoyed that.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much, for coming. Hey, Kathleen, great job. Jeff and Rich, thank you so much for being here. As always, you guys are really, really fantastic and everything that you do. If you're not a Stratos Cloud Immersion partner, please contact them. Stratos Cloud Alliance, partner. They're great. You're selling any type of Dynamics, CRM, any type of that. Reach out to them. They're a great partner of ours. We really do appreciate all the hard work that they do. And I'm just going to give a last thing, Jeffrey and Rich. What are your last thoughts? So Jeffrey, I'll start with you.
Oh, well, I just say try to get in and dig into new technology. Try to figure out new ways to partner. I think there's just fantastic opportunity. I think Rich has keys to a lot of Microsoft money, so tap into that. I think that's a really great opportunity for partners to attack this new opportunity for us.
Fantastic.
And you.
And Rich, last thing is I know we're coming on time.
We're real quick on time, so I'll be just as quick. So as you could probably tell by my name in the Mentimeter, I was Vertiguy. As I look out my window here at the office, there's a basketball court next door to me, and the only thing that matters in basketball is getting vertical, and that's exactly what's going to matter in the upcoming years as a Microsoft partner. Get vertical, get specialized, get unique. You're going to get business.
Wow, that is a great wrap up to it. Last thing, best and worst marketing practices next month. Sign up for it. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for your time today. Sincerely do appreciate all just the time that you put in here and you hang out with us. And have a great weekend. And we'll see you next month. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.